see. Okay, everyone. So we are live. Well, hello there. I hope everyone is having a beautiful start to your September. We haven't been live here for a couple of weeks, and most of the reason is I have been juggling a lot of projects. So wanted to jump on here today because there were some questions on the yo-yo. What are you doing, Carmella, on the yo-yo quilt? I want to see that yo-yo quilt. So anyway, I'm going to share the yo-yos with you in a minute. They're really adorable. But first, I want to share the look. This is one of the little pumpkins we made the other night. And I've been working right into the night, so some of the videos have been at night. And let's see here. Let me put a hello here. We are, whoops. Let's see. It won't let me go in there. Here we go. They have a lot of messages going on from YouTube here. And the short ones I do read. The longer runs, I might read part of it. But anyway, so I wanted to just share that with you. Isn't that adorable? And I just happen to have this little stand. This I've had like forever. I think a little candle would go in there. But look, I put the pumpkin in there. I mean, so I'm going to make more of these. And that's why I showed it to you, because I think this is a perfect little fall art and craft fall, make and sell. But I'll let you know how I do. My art craft show is September 14th. So I have one more good weekend to sort things out. Now, what I normally do is about 3 days, and I need that long before the art and craft show. I go through everything, I get it all organized. I take those days if I feel something needs to be spiffied up or I don't want in the show, this and that, or maybe I want to make one more of this or something. Like we're going to do some granny squares. Now I have my stash that we had gone through as for a project to kind of put something together. But I want to, for Halloween theme and for fall themed, I want to put together some purple and black or orange, purple and black, granny square little bags. So I'll bring you along with me. I've done these before, they're on the channel, but I'll bring you along with me because when we do those and we do them in the heavyweight yarn, boom, it goes fast. I mean, it even goes fast in the medium weight. Seriously, anything with granny square, and I get so addictive to it when I start it. I usually start this time of year and then I can't stop it. So, but I will totally bring you along with me. So now the yo-yos, and if there's anyone out there who wants to see me make a yo-yo, you haven't, you're new to the channel, you're kind of figuring out what's going on. What we do is we focus on using recycled fabrics, materials, and supplies, and to create. And we inspire each other to create. We share. We give support to each other, because a lot of things we notice here, or I've noticed over my lifetime, is a lot of artists will make stunning things and they'll go, oh well, it's all right. Maybe because they worked on it a long time, but we tend to do that. Like we don't realize the the value, of all that work by the time we're done. We're like, well, it's okay. And so we can help each other with this journey. And especially if you're really interested in art and craft shows. So I love to try to focus on getting artistic or really cutesy little things in art and craft shows. And that is kind of hard to do because when I work on an art piece, and I put it in an art exhibit, I tend to not bring it to the shows. So I try to work on making things that are, I would like to bring to the shows. So now I have this bin and I've been working on, and I want to show you a couple things. First, actually, I made a list here right before I went on here because, and this is not all of it. But first, we'll go over the list because what can you make with yo-yos? If you are not familiar with yo-yos, okay, some of you heard me talk about the history a little bit. It goes way, way, way back. Yo-yos go way back to England. You can make little rosettes, little pins. You can make pins with them. You can decorate them with beads and make pins, brooches and like that, and pieces for a hat, or you can fill them and make pin cushions. You can make bags, of course, quilts, hair pieces. Now, I have this, I wanted to show you this. This is a hair tie that I bought like 100 of these. And you see the little metal. So I am going to take this hair tie and figure out the best way to make um, a yo-yo hair tie. And I'm thinking, it would just be in the center and sewn on. So I'm going to play around with it though, because there's a couple things I was noticing as I was playing around with it. So when I do, we'll do a video on that. And so anyway, and if you are coming back to the channel, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. And so okay, let's go over the yo-yos. I'm going to put them all here. Let's see how many I got. And I'm still working on them. Now these are the big ones. When I say big, I mean they are 14-inch diameter, which brings them to about 7-inch diameter. And okay. And then these are all of the little ones that you've seen. You've seen these before. I have a bunch of the little ones. So, and what I plan to do is take one of the little ones and put it in the center of one of the larger ones. So the quilt will have this kind of decor going through the quilt. And they will be all different colors. And these are just absolutely gorgeous. Now, I got to tell you, after I make yo-yos, I get really tired. I don't know about you, but I get absolutely exhausted. And I'm not feeling the monotony as I'm making them, but after I make them, I am seriously tired. So, but I want to show you, besides the quilt, and so I'm going to put my coffee over here. And I know I might need this coffee, so we'll keep it close by. And I'm going to put these first over here. And then we'll count how many I've got thus far, because I have a few ideas I want to share. So, okay. We can make, or you can make, and you've seen these maybe before, but table mat centerpieces. I am going to make one of a pumpkin. I would love to make at least, I don't know, several of them by September 14th. But mind you, I'm in another show in November, two in November. But if I can get some more pumpkins by November, and then there's just the typical square. And I got to tell you, I love this. And I've been using this. Now, if you look at it, what happens is the yo-yos, where they're normally puffed, they kind of start to get a little flattened. Okay, which is okay because it's still just a lovely. So these are just ideas for small projects. Make it in the shape of a pumpkin. Yes, give it a backing. This backing was not the backing that I wanted. I was just messing around with it, but I it served okay. I just did it the opposite direction of what I would do. I was really making it for a class that I was getting preparing to teach, to instruct, I should say. And then this backing I like the best because I did the little tie knots and it gives it the little divots. And that's perfect. You don't have to cover that up at all. That's totally fine. So that's your base and your backing. I mean, that's lovely. So for this quilt that we're working on, I had a few ideas. I'm going to put that to the side. These I just want to show you. I got these four of these for $2. This is absolutely a stunning design. Now, I want to remind artisans that even though you get something for 50 cents, now I'm not saying go gouge people and, put it at a ridiculously high price. However, you do want to give yourself credit that you went out, you did the scouting, you're going out on a regular basis, you're scouting for fabrics or materials or whatever you can, if whatever you're applying to your creativity. And that takes time. I mean, it totally does. Like today's Labor Day, I didn't even realize. I really did not realize it until like this weekend, and I'm saying happy Labor Day to people. But um, when I went out to the thrift shop because this is a perfect time to go to the thrift shops. People have their garage sales, like they had them on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they don't sell things. They want to get rid of them. They bring them to the thrift shop. They give them to the thrift shop. So it's a perfect time to find, real good finds. And I went today and I was looking for more of a fall theme. And the oranges that they had, there's this one thrift shop in particular that when it's around the holiday, this and that, they put the prices way up. And I kind of have a problem with that concept because we're donating. I get it, they got to make a few bucks here and there for sure. And however, if it's too high, it's a little like, wait a minute, what's the difference? Someone's going to turn around, they're going to go get it new, and they're not going to think necessarily, hey, this is worth thrifting. We're doing something really good for our world. But I mean, I don't know if they're going to go through all that thought process looking for an orange piece of fabric. However, the orange pieces that were there were a little high for the tiny bit amount of fabric I was getting because I was thinking for these. And I do have orange in one of my bins, and it's just not the same fabric. But like you can mix on Boro inspired, you can mix on Kawandi inspired. Guess what? You can mix on your yo-yos if you want to. You can do that. So anyway, I'm going to put this down because I just want to show you how absolutely stunning this is. So, yes, you can make table mat pieces. And I just want to show you the beautiful, beautiful design. Like this is all flowers anyway. So if we stay with the floral and now look, I happen to have, I'm just going to show you. I happen to have four of those. I kind of want to test this out. I've got, and then I'll show you what I'm thinking about using for my backing for my quilt. Oh, and let's see how many of these I have. So I got 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, okay, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18. So I have almost 20. So guess what? The size of about 35 by 35 or 40 by 40, it's about 35, 40 pieces, depending how you're going to place them and, the exact measures. So I'm halfway there with these. So I want to finish this because I want it for my art and craft show. So let's see the designs like for you could use this piece of thrift shopped table linen. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And we can use, let's say we want to use all pink. And this, granted it is Halloween, but let's just say, you want maybe, some people have different ideas and you don't want to cover up all your pink there, but you want all four corners covered. So yes, you can do it. You can do this. Look at that. That's lovely. Oops, where'd the other one? Oh, there it is. It's absolutely lovely. And you can even put little bows in there if you want, or you can just do the corners and give this a backing and leave it. And or you can kind of play around and build up your little florets and see. This one doesn't really. Let's see if I have a brighter. Yeah, I got a blue, and I might have even more of these pinks by the time I'm done. So, I mean, that's just beautiful and it's different. Somebody comes along and they're looking for this something different and put your name on it and whatnot and make sure people know it's you and that you can make more. You can make, for Christmas or whatever. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. Threads there. Okay, I want to try one more combo here just for the heck of it. And you're saying, well, Carmella, don't put anything in the center because they want to maybe set something down on it. But if you think about it, if you have your yo-yos like here, kind of so you're giving this an extra layer. Technically now you have one. You have the back of the yo-yo and top of the yo-yo. You have 1, 2, 3 layers. And then if you give this a backing, whether it's back to front, and so you're lining this hem, how gorgeous is that? I mean, seriously. I'm gonna mix. Oh, I wanted to try this. This is gorgeous. Now I have a lot more of this to use. That's gorgeous. But let's mix it up a little. And yeah, see, I mean, so this is the thing. When you get it's a challenge to figure out how you're going to sometimes decorate. And so there's 3 there, but I'd want these all different for the heck of it. And so I'd have to make, yeah, I actually have that one. And do I have enough for variety? I don't. So I have to kind of get a few more of these. But this is an idea. Now, when I make my quilt, I'm going to show you the fabric I'm going to use. So I'm going to take this off. I'm using, and you've seen this before, because I almost used this from a backing for my silky quilt. So let's see. Oh, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer. If you're working on a quilt, I'd love to hear about it. And these videos are always there. You can always go back on them when you're ready. But this is very soft. I was actually thinking of cutting this in half and making a couple of kind of chair not chair throws, is what you call it, lap blankets. So that's kind of what I was thinking of with this. So this is the color I'm going to go with. And if I cut it down, I'm going to tell you what, if I do cut this down, I could cut it down today. And guess what? I could make my blanket today because, like, super quick. Because I've got my 20, I've got it right here. But look, so I'll put this down. So you can play around with the beauty. This is an unusual, I gotta tell you, this is such an unusual. I almost use this for an apron because for November I definitely want a few aprons. I was hoping September, but I'm not sure. But this color is this is a hand mixed color. This is not a typical teal or light green. This is an unusual aqua. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It has yellow in it, dyed, and it's this piece is dyed and it's dyed very, very well. It's a beautiful cotton piece. So, and I mean, just look at this against that. Even this pops. So if I did, let's say I'm just gonna go like that. And oh, I love look at the yellow. See, this is the challenge. Wait, let me just say that. I mean, really, this is the challenge when we are working with scrap fabrics. The challenge of our creativity is we are limited. And unless you're going to really scout out, go out there and you really want that piece of fabric, you're going to try to find it. But we're limited. So I think it nourishes our creative mind. And I think it's such a refreshing thing to do to to use the scrap fabrics. So anyway, I'm gonna lay this out like that. And I'm just kind of taking a look at this, how far over I can go, because I've got 20 pieces. So, and these are about 7-inch diameter. Let's see though, maybe they're short, less. Let me see. I'm pretty sure they're 7. About, oh, I'll put this down. Sorry. Yeah, it's about 7. Let me see if I pull that out and pucker it a little. Exactly 7. Right, 7, 7, 7. So there's 28. So one more. So if I did 5, let's say I did 5 and 5, so it's 35 and I have 20. I only need to make 15 more. And I absolutely can do that today if I want to. And but let's just lay this out for the heck of it. Let's see. I may have to make more of a different fabric with my larger pieces here. Yeah, I love that. You know what? I love this. I didn't I don't have any more of it. This is it. But oh, this is a lovely. Now I'm being a little spacey here. I would really have these right up there because these are going to be tie knotted. And this hem is going to be folded. So I may fold it towards the back and then do a back to front hem. I'm not sure because when you do that with these, you got to have that hem come right before your tie knot. So if I just left it and if I folded this back and then did a back to back hem, that's the thing to do. If I do it, um, we'll see what I'm going to do with this. Now, the other choice I have is to simply fray all sides. That would take a little time, to be honest. This is frayed, but I think I could fray this side a little more evenly and then stitch, do couple of machine stitches across that would deter it from fraying anymore. And this side and this side. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, I could do this side. So, but we'll see. So anyway, that's lovely. And then I'm going to this is what I'm doing. I'm putting the little ones in the center. That's how I'm doing this. Oh my God, I love this already. This is a lovely. Actually, let me put that blue over there and put that one there. That one, look, you can see this is vintage fabric and this is kind of old and it's thin. I'm not sure I'm using it for this project. I may put it to the side. That's why I say, we quality check your stuff as you're going along. Be super happy with it, because if you're not happy with it, then there's a reason you're thinking, and that's okay. I mean, we're makers. We're making these items, and not everything is absolutely perfect, right? Every time. So anyway, okay, so those are the yo-yos. This is the design. Basically, I will be making more of these. I will be looking to use more of if I can get more of the dragonfly and daisies. I'm not crazy about, and this, I know I don't have any more of these. So that fabric's gone. And this is a very old fabric. That's another vintage, but and the other thing you could do is put them like that. You can put them every other, like that. So anyway, I mean, you can just play around with them. And you can even fill these and make them little puffs. Puff them if you want. And okay, so for those of you who want to know how to make um oh, okay, I put them up there. So let me move these. Let's see. Yeah, if you're interested, I'll just make one. If you're interested, you can have it. You can have it for reference. It will be there. It will be there on the channel. So, okay. So I have these. These are what I had. What I do is I cut out a bunch. Like this was a stack, right? This was a stack. I cut out a bunch of them, and the way I do it, and I know someone had said to me once, Carmella, just use a rotary. And I do have my rotary up here, my little rotary, but the blade is really dull right now. It's super dull. So, but yes, you can put it on the table wherever and trace your fabrics and use your rotary on your board. So okay, I'm going to put these in their bin for now. Okay, so for those of you who have not made these, we're going to put this down so you can see. So turn your circle towards you. So in other words, your beautiful design will be flat down on the table. And then what you're going to do, I'm just going to preface this with what you're going to do. As we go around, you're just simply going to be folding the edge about 1/8 of an inch or so in. If it's not perfectly folded to a certain, degree like that all the way around, that's okay. As long as you're not going kind of like this and then like that, because that would make it super duper uneven. However, a little bit of variation is very normal. And now this is also a fat cotton. This is a cotton. If and so I am able to use an embroidery needle. I'm using this thread, which is lacy crochet thread. You can use 100% cotton that has none of the shiny stuff on it. Um, okay, and or you can use your sashiko thread and your sashiko needle. And if you're using a silky fabric, you probably want to use a small regular sewing needle and thread, because this type of needle will put an absolute hole in it. So anyway, you start on the inside so that like in between your fold. And the reason is if you start out here, then you're at the very end of your project, your knot will be showing. So, and when you make a knot here, you see this is a really good knot. You want a really good knot. Tie that a couple of times, and you want a really good one because you want your little yo-yo to be really secure. So anyway, and for those of you who've been following and you're doing the Boro Sashiko inspired and Kawandi, you know what the running stitch is. Guess what? We're doing the running stitch through this whole thing. Now, there are some people saying, Carmella, why are you doing it by hand when there's a little instrument, a little piece of equipment? that you can use. Because for me, I've used it and I don't like it. I did use it. I used it at the beginning. It helped me get some perspective, but I feel like I can actually now that I know what I'm doing, I can go quicker without the little instrument. So, who knows if I really can or not, but that's kind of how I feel. So just go with it. So I just do it like this. So you're gathering it. You see a little bit as you go along, and you're just going to go straight around, and you can be towards the top or in the middle, towards the top or in the middle. If you're down too far down, I think that might obscure a little bit for when your collar gathered looks like at the end, maybe not. Um, but yeah, and you see now this is where the monotony comes in because you know, I really do try to put on like I try to put on a scary show or something because with my other work, with my Kwandi inspired or my Boro or anything else almost, even crochet, I can put on um some really soothing music and I'm good. But when I'm doing my yo-yos, I have to have something super duper interesting. S- and anyway, because yes, because this takes a little time. You can't do this. I mean, maybe someone can do this in like a 5-minute stint, but it seems like it takes a little while to do each one of these. I'd like to say it's 5 minutes or so, but um I mean all you're doing is stitching around a circle. That's all you're doing. And but however, you do want to be a little mindful as you're going, because see that was starting to come down, so you kind of push it up. Be a little mindful of your little fold and just kind of keep working it and push your needle through as much as you can, especially if you have a lot of gathers. Now, fabrics are different. Um, some of these fabrics you're going to get like this. You're going to get a perfect centered hole. I mean, the holes are going to be centered. Period. They're going to be centered. However, I've had some materials where the hole isn't closing all the as much as I want. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, it is not unusual and you don't notice it. You're going along and you get a little knot, the teeny tiniest little knot in your thread. And so what it does is it locks your running stitches. So then you're not able to pull it as much as you want and get that closed. So that's one thing that happens. Another thing that happens is you do accidentally somehow do a back stitch. And usually it might be because you stopped and you got up and you got that cup of coffee or you changed the channel or answered the phone or something. And then you go back and you start to go the opposite direction that you were going. Well, that's going to lock it. It's going to lock the whole thing. So it does happen. And as you practice this and do this, you'll notice it, you'll figure it out, and you'll know right away. But yeah, these things happen, and I just share my couple little tips with you on my experiences to save to save you a little time. And this tail likes to climb up, so yeah. The important thing with your yo-yos is that you have really good knots. Tie your knots and hide them because this is your um, unless for some reason you do want them part of the aesthetic. You just hide them in your folds, in the gathers, inside the yo-yo, and that's pretty much how you do these. And you can see if you're going to fill this, the closer you get to the end here, that's probably a good time to start filling it if you're gonna make little Suffolk puffs, that's what they're called, Suffolk puffs, and, from England, from that's where those come from. So now when you get to the end, this is where you wanna be really super duper careful in your direction because and in what you're doing. So there's a couple ways to do this. You can continue, and I do go a little way into a couple of the gathers, keep going in the same direction, and then do a U-turn and go back the opposite direction, and then do a knot in between these gathers, and that will lock it beautifully. And then tuck your tail into the yo-yo. So we're going to do that. So now when you come to the end here, as I say in my other videos, it's very easy to get a little mixed up again if because look, what's happening right now, you see, you cannot tell where you started and where you didn't. So you just it in my opinion, when you get to this point, you try not to try not to get interrupted. But, so anyway, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I usually, kind of put my needle where am I here? Yeah, see, I put my needle down towards the end, the bottom of the folds, and I'm just trying to get in to a couple of the gathers. So now I'm inside, see, I'm inside the yo-yo. Now, what I'm going to do is continue to work on the inside on these folds and the gathers. I'm just going to keep doing a couple more running stitches through those gathers, and they're tight. They're all sewn, so it's just a little bit of a pull, not too bad. I'm going to get this little straight there. And then now what I'm going to do is go the opposite direction and do my little U-turn. Do my U-turn. Okay, that's good. And now what I'm going to do is tie I usually tie about 3 knots here. I do. Into like one big knot. And I tie it close. This particular one, tie it close to your gather. Maybe you could even do put it through the fabric if you want and tie a knot that way. And anyway, you just want to get that really super secure right there because this when that comes apart, then that means your yo-yo comes apart. So anyway, I'm going to do one more because I feel like I didn't get that for some reason. Okay. So now I'm going to do that looks good. I'm just kind of shaping it. I'm going to make a little knot just a little ways up here on the tail. There's a knot. I would personally like just one more right there. Perfect. That's a nice knot. And now I'm going to take my needle, go inside my yo-yo, go inside, go to the edge of the little yo-yo and bring your needle through. Bring it through gently. You don't want to pull the knot through. Don't pull it through. And you are done. That is it. That is how you make, or that's how I make a yo-yo. And people might have little different renditions of how they do it. And then just kind of hide your little thread in. Make sure it goes in. And yeah, that's good. And there it is. So anyway, I hope that you're coming along with me making yo-yos. And if you have any question on how you're making yours, or if you get your little piece of equipment that makes yo-yos, that that will help you get a little oriented, and then but I bet you kind of stop using it after a while. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making a couple of throw little chair blankets or lap blankets. So they're not going to be huge, and they're not going to be really really big, but they're going to be so, like, if I'm sitting in a chair and I want to kind of put it on my lap and it's nice and pretty and light, uh, that will work. So I'm going to measure it according to that. And so in the next video or so, when I'm done with that, I will let you know what measure and what it looks like. I'll share it with you. And so with that, probably we've got so many things to share, but I'm almost done with my silky Boro Sashiko inspired piece. So I'll be sharing that with you next also. So with that, I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope that that helped inspire you and keep going and give you some ideas for your beautiful art and craft show. Have a beautiful day.